Well, civil rights leader Jesse Jackson is fighting for the release of an American military veteran who was captured by Colombian rebels 3 months ago. U.S. citizen and Marine veteran Kevin Scott Sutay was captured by the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia, otherwise known as the FARC, while he was on a hiking trip. On Saturday, Reverend Jackson accepted an invitation by the FARC to intervene, something that Jackson said he is more than willing to do. But getting Sutay out of the country is not that easy. Colombian President Juan Manuel Santos wrote on his Twitter that only the Red Cross will be authorized to facilitate the handover of the North American kidnapped by the FARC, and that he will not allow the media to this media spectacle. The problem is that the Red Cross has been trying to stay out of the conflict. So where do we go from here? Reverend Jesse Jackson is the founder and president of the Rainbow Push Coalition, and he joins me now to talk about his efforts to free Kevin Scott Sutay. Hi there, Reverend Jackson. Thank you so much for joining me. So go ahead and explain to us who Kevin Sutay is and how you got involved in this case.
Kevin Sutay is an American veteran who was lost somewhere in the jungles of Colombia, and he was thought to be a terrorist or a spy. He, in fact, was a tourist, which the FARC now recognizes, and they're willing to turn him over to me unilaterally and unconditionally. When I was in Colombia for a conference 2 weeks ago, I felt that we should, A, support the peace process between Colombia and the rebels in Cuba. And that somehow to release Kevin Scott would be a step in the right direction, a good gesture. The FARC reached back to me and said if I would come to Cuba, they would discuss it. I met with them, discussed his release, discussed their support in the government on ending the drug flow by the growing real vegetables and not poppy seeds. They would choose the ballot over the bullet. I thought they were moving in the right direction. Then they said, you can have him. The caveat is he is in the jungle in a war zone in Colombia. It'd have to have the protocol of a ceasefire on both sides, and we were going with the Red Cross to retrieve him. So Kevin Scott is free, but must be retrieved. I think now that our government has finally gotten involved with the Colombian government trying to find someone to retrieve the freed American hostage.
So what are some of the other obstacles that you are currently facing right now to get him out of Colombia, and what will it take to get him out?
Well, one obstacle was the role of Pia Cordova, who is an official in Colombia. She stepped aside, so that's a longer reason. Now all that we need is that if there's a ceasefire on the part of the government and the rebels, and there is a zone of safety, the Red Cross would then get involved to do the logistics of getting him out. Well, Mr. Santos does not want me to do it for fear that it looks like an outsider had to resolve it. So he can get someone from the inside. If he gets someone from Colombia who was trusted by the FARC and the government, let them and the Red Cross bring him out. The issue is not my freedom, it is Kevin Scott's freedom. I hope that our government, which is now in direct contact with Mr. Santos, will get him out within the 48 hours. If not, I'm going back to Colombia and stay there until he's set free.
Now, Reverend Jackson, as I had read earlier, Carlos Santos, the president over there, had written a tweet out saying that the Red Cross should be the ones that intervene and that actually retrieve Sutay from this FARC group. But he also said that you being involved would create a media spectacle. What do you have to say about that?
Well, that's not an accurate thing. This is a very serious and risky and rather dangerous mission. I think Mr. Santos has done such a good job. I do not want to respond to his anxiety and his fear, because his fear about the media spectacle is unfounded. To bring the Kevin Scott out would be a media event, but it would be a positive one for the government and the FARC to arrive at an agreement to choose ballots over bullets and to end the growth of drugs in that country and to choose democracy over military confrontation. It's another big media event. But these are the media events that make us whole.
Sure. Now, at the same time, Colombia is in the middle of aggressions with these FARC rebels. Speaking from the U.S. standpoint, President Obama and others have said that the U.S. does not negotiate with terrorists. Why should we expect the Colombian government to do so?
Well, that's interesting language. 1 week, they call Iran a terrorist. Next week, he's talking on the phone with President Obama, which is the right thing to do. We should not use these red line language buzzes to stop us from talking. It's not easy, it's not difficult to talk with your allies. You have to talk with your adversaries to bring about peace. You bring peace between warring factions, not between friendly factions. So I'm glad Mr. Santos has endorsed the FARC and his government talking in Cuba. And Cuba's involved, and Norwegians are involved. And I happen to think that those negotiations are going fairly well, but they must go through quickly to have the desired impact inside Colombia.
And this isn't the first hostage negotiation that you've actually taken a part of, is it?
Well, no, we did so in Syria when under Saddam Hussein and brought Lieutenant Robert Goodman back. We did so in Cuba in 1984. We did so in Iraq and Yugoslavia and Syria under Assad. We did so in Liberia. We did so in the Gambia. So we've done it 6 or 7 times. So we kind of know how to do it. If it's a matter of timing and judgment, we know how to do this, and we want to do it because releasing hostages is always a key toward peaceful conflict resolution.
And finally, do you think that the Red Cross is prepared to arrange this release and actually do it successfully?
I think the Red Cross is prepared to do logistics, not be a negotiator. And that's the role that they should play. The FARC wants a person that they can trust, and so does the Colombian government, which is fair. Let both of them agree on a person and the Red Cross's assistance, because if there's a peace zone and they see the signal on the Red Cross on the helicopter on that helicopter, it's a good thing. If I contend if they can have a ceasefire for a day, they can have one for 2 days, 3 days, 5 days. So let's stop the war. Let's choose bargaining table over battlefield. Let's choose battle over the bullet. Let's get out of the battlefield. Let's stop the killing. And then let's use our real efforts to stop the flow of drugs in that country that's having such a devastating impact upon the region and the world.
Reverend Jesse Jackson, good luck in your efforts to free this American citizen that is captured right now by the FARC. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.